Time now, 5 o'clock on this Wednesday evening, August 27th, 2014. On a Wednesday evening, time now for the wherever the Joshua PJ wins. The evening report, Wednesday evening, August 27th, 2014. Good evening, everybody. Our current edition's at 5 o'clock in North Massachusetts. Got a temperature 84 degrees with first gust, humidity 51%, wind speed southwest about 14 gusts at 18 miles per barometer. 29.88 inches, drooping about 64 degrees. Visibility 10 miles, heat index 85 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at our radar scope. Shows a line of showers and storms. Okay, let's zoom you closer into that. Spotty rain showers around Billwick, around Littleton and Westford. A lot of showers and storms from South Leominster, sorts of that on Bear, and yellows and oranges, but showers and storms going to be approaching off New Braintree and search of the down food. Holyoke and Springfield and search of the down Berkshires and then eastern tier New York around Kingston and Hyde Park. And turn it on and it shows one cell's going to move to the east side towards Leominster and down through Lexington here, and it's going to stretch through the northeast toward Amherst. And cell containing here is going to make its way down for southwestern Connecticut in a couple of minutes from now. And zooming it out here, and it shows some spotty rain showers around central Vermont, southern New Hampshire, central Maine around Rockland, Maine, and a line of showers and storms on central portions of New Brunswick down off in the northeastern portions of New Brunswick and the eastern portions of Nova Scotia and the central portions of Prince Edward Island, southeastern portions of Prince Edward Island here. And a line of rain showers in west central New York, stretching it up in upstate Ontario down through southern portions of Quebec here. And a line of rain showers from Pennsylvania, stretching it down for southern Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, northern Kentucky, down for Missouri, stretching it Iowa, down for Nebraska, down for Wyoming, down for Four Corner region, down for western Kansas, Oklahoma, and down for western Texas. Showers and storms around southeastern Texas, down for Louisiana, and a line of spotty rain showers in central British Columbia, stretching in the western portions of Alberta. Bowling Green, Kentucky, good evening. 89 degrees with scattered clouds here. Take a look at our satellite loop and shows line of clouds coming from Atlantic Canada, stretching it down for western New York State. Line of clouds from the southern Michigan, stretching in western Great Lakes, down for the mid-central Mississippi Valley, stretching in South Dakota, down through western Plain States, down for western Oklahoma, and down Texas, down for the Four Corner region here. And a line of clouds from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, down in Manitoba here. And this is Cristobal here, off the Carolina coastlines here. Bringing the sea anchor, and that's Murray off the Baja California coastline and bringing us to the Baja California coastline and the Southern California coastline here. Okay, let's take a look at our map situation here. Station front from Idaho, stretching it down for Wyoming and down through the Central Plains states and down for the Ohio Valley, stretching it down for New York State and stretching it up in New England and the cold front and up in New Brunswick, up the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Stage front off of the North Carolina coastline here, and a front of by down through Central Cuba, and a front of by from Southern Nevada, stretching it down for Mexico here. And another front of by from eastern Montana, stretching in the eastern Alberta, down for western Saskatchewan, and high pressure in eastern Kentucky, northeastern Minnesota, Four Corner region, and eastern Idaho here. 90 degrees temperature in Boston is 88 out in New York City, 88 out in Washington D.C., 85 out in Pittsburgh, 86 in Atlanta, 90 in Miami, 94 in Brownsville, Dallas, Texas, it's 83 in Kansas City, 78 in Chicago, 80 in Miami, 71 in Omaha, 76 in Minneapolis, 75 in Denver, 78 in Albuquerque, 97 in Phoenix, 72 in Salt Lake City, 88 in Las Vegas, 81 in Los Angeles, 72 in Seattle, 70 in Seattle, 73 in San Francisco, and 82 in Great Falls, Montana. Here, current conditions around the region, we got 90 degrees in Boston, it's 86 in Fitchburg and in Bedford, 89 in Beverly, 85 in Gloucester, 83 in Western Webster, 85 in Sturbridge, 86 in Milford, 89 in Norwood, 85 in Taunton, 81 in New Bedford, 88 in Plymouth, 77 in Provincetown, 78 out in Chatham, 79 in Falmouth and Martha's Vineyard, 79 in Cape Cod Bay, 74 in Nantucket, 79 in Block Islands, 80 out in Westerly, 84 in Providence, 82 in Smithfield, it's 79 out in Montauk, 83 in Islip, 84 in New York City, 79 alongside, 85 in Bridgeport, 87 in New Haven, 87 in Danbury, 86 in Waterbury, 88 in Meriden, 91 in Hartford, 91 in Windsor Locks, 87 out in Springfield, 86 in Amherst, 83 in Greenfield, 79 in Pittsfield and in North Adams, 82 in Albany, 78 in Mainton, 76 in Brattleboro, Vermont, 84 in Keene, Hampshire, 82 in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, it's 88 in Nashville, New Hampshire, 83 in Manchester, New Hampshire, 88 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, it's 85 in Concord, New Hampshire, here. Okay, let's take a look at forecast discussion around the country, here. Updated to the latest. The flash flood threat continues for portions of the Central Plains through Thursday morning and moving into the Midwestern states by Thursday afternoon, and a slight risk of severe thunderstorms is possible in parts of Kansas and Nebraska on Wednesday. Tropical moisture is lifting into the four-corner region on the country will interact with an area of upper-level energy advances eastward across the central Rockies that are expected to continue to produce an expansive area of showers and thunderstorms into the central southern Rockies to the Midwest on Wednesday and Thursday, and the heaviest and most organized the convective activity is expected to be right along a nearly stationary surface boundary stretched across the Central Plains and Middle Mississippi Valley.
Virus database has been updated.
Wednesday into Thursday, WPC has highlighted a slight risk for flash flooding across much of central and eastern Nebraska into western Iowa. In addition, the SVC has also highlighted a slight risk of severe weather for southern Nebraska and northwestern Kansas as an energy lock ejected in the Central Plains on Thursday, and the surface front lifts slowly northward, and the heavy rain and flash flooding threat moving in the Middle Mississippi Valley and portions of the upper Midwest. Meanwhile, the eastern portion of the boundary will move east and southward as a cold front across the northeast and middle Atlantic and Ohio Valley on Wednesday. They should produce scattered showers and thunderstorms along the front, but given a lack of upper level support, the activity should remain fairly light and mainly driven by directional heating down south. Weak energy moving westward into the coastal Texas will bring showers and storms to the portion of the western Gulf Coast region throughout the forecast period, and while the heaviest rain is expected to remain offshore, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms likely making it onshore to coastal regions of Texas and Louisiana. Here. Okay, forecast discussion around New England here. A cold front approaching the region will trigger a few showers and thunderstorms this evening and overnight hours, and this front moves offshore early Thursday morning on drier and less humid air overspreading southern New England Thursday and Friday, yielding mild days and cool nights, and Hurricane Cristobal will pass well offshore late tonight into Thursday. But it will bring dangerous surfing and rip currents to south-facing ocean beaches on Rhode Island and Massachusetts, and pleasant weather lingers into Saturday, and the front may stall across New England Sunday and into Monday, bringing unsettled conditions here. Latest Wednesday AM on 12C ECMWF along with an HRR and RAP 13 have been trending toward less convective off this evening and overnight as a QPF, as despite modest instability being observed on SBC meteor analysts of 1,500 JKG from central Massachusetts westward into eastern New York. The lack of shear surface convergence is keeping convection assay to widely scattered so far, giving it a arrival at mid-level true and associated deep layer shear is after peaking in the 008 to 060 and not expecting much of any severe thunderstorms. However, can't completely rule out an isolated strong storm over the western Connecticut and Massachusetts with gusty winds giving inverted sound signature and brief heavy rain with parts up to 1.7 inches over the lower Hudson Valley, and convection weaken after 008 given a boundary layer cooling and weak middle level lapse rates, and however both this synoptic scale forcing an ascent and increase in deep layer should may be sufficient for a broken line of showers to traverse the coast later this evening. Given a later arrival cold front passage not expected to clear out the region until overnight, and probably not until sunrise for the south coast including Cape Cod and the islands, thus another warm night here. Taking a look. The latest on Cristobal here. Hurricane Cristobal. Category 1 storm with 75 mile per hour wind gusts. Movement northeast about 15 miles per hour. Central location 32.7 to north, 71.4 to north. Moving at the sea. And it's going to become a post-tropical hurricane by about Friday at 2 p.m. and out to sea on Saturday, and out to towards Iceland is a post-tropical storm on Sunday. And the latest on the public advisory on Cristobal here. Passing between Bermuda and Cape Hatteras, and location 32.7 in the north, 71.4 to the west. About 385 miles, 620 kilometers west of Bermuda, and about 290 miles, 470 kilometers southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina here. Maximum sustained winds 75 miles per 120 kilometers an hour. And present movement northeast at 30 degrees at 50 miles per 24 kilometers an hour. And minimum central pressure 94 millibars or 29.86 inches here. Change with advisory none at tropical storm watch in effect for Bermuda, and tropical storm Watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area. For storm information specific to your area, please monitor products issued by your local National Meteorological Service. Here, at 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, 20 UTC, the center of Hurricane Cristobal was located near latitude 32.7 in the north, longitude 71.4 to the west, and Cristobal is moving toward the north-northeast near 15 miles per hour, 24 kilometers an hour. A turn toward the northeast and an increase in the forward speed are expected tonight, as followed by a further increase in the forward speed, and on Thursday down the forecast track the center of Cristobal will pass well west of Bermuda tonight. Data from the NOAA and Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that maximum sustained winds are near 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers an hour, with higher wind gusts. Some strength in its forecast during the next day, so Cristobal is expected to become a powerful extratropical cyclone over the next Friday night by about North Atlantic this Friday night. Here, Cristobal has a large wind field, and hurricane force winds extend out to 35 miles per 55 kilometers from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend out to 205 miles, 335 kilometers and north. AA 41048. Located about 120 miles and 195 kilometers east-southeast of the center of Cristobal, we still reported the same winds of 40 miles per 65 kilometers an hour and a wind gust of 49 miles per 79 kilometers an hour. And the latest minimum central pressure reported by the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft is 94 millibars at 29.06 inches. Here, in the surf, swells joined by Cristobal are affecting Bermuda and portions of the USA's coast from North Carolina northward to Long Island and will spread northward to the southern New England tomorrow. Those swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and current conditions. For more information, please consult products from your local weather office. And rainfall, Cristobal is expected to produce additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches over Bermuda. Tropical storm conditions are possible on Bermuda for tonight. Take a look. At our disturbance number 1. Data from the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft investigated weak area of low pressure over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico indicate that the system does not have a well-defined circulation, that social thunderstorm activity has also developed and diminished some time this morning here. However, some limited development over this system is still possible before it moves inland over South Texas into northern Mexico on Thursday. Formation chance for 4 hours, low 20%, formation chance for 5 days, high a low 20% here. A tropical wave located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles continues to produce several disorganized cloudiness and showers here. And this system is forecasted to move generally westward across the Caribbean Sea with a little development during the next few days. And however, environmental conditions could become favorable with some development by the early next week in the western Caribbean Sea or southern Gulf of Mexico here. Formation chance for 4 hours, low 0%, and formation chance for 5 days, low 10%. And a tropical wave is forecast to move off the west coast of Africa on Friday, and conditions appear to be favorable for some development thereafter while the system moves westward at about 10 to 15 miles per hour across the eastern Atlantic here. Formation chance for 4 hours, low near 0%, and formation chance for 5 days, medium 40%. Okay, let's take a look. What is going on in the Eastern Pacific? Tropical storm Marie here. It's now 65 mile per hour wind gusts. Center location 23.1 in the north, 125.0 to the west. Movement west northwest about 15 miles an hour here. And Marie weakens with a tropical storm with no coastal watches or warnings effect. At 2 p.m. 21 UTC, the center of tropical storm Marie was located near 23.1 in the north latitude, longitude 125.0 to the west. And Marie is moving toward the west-northwest near 15 miles per 24 kilometers an hour and turn toward the northwest is expected to occur tonight and early to Thursday. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near 65 miles per 100 kilometers an hour with higher gusts, and Marie will be moving over progressively colder water and additional weakening forecast during the next 48 hours. Marie is expected to become a post-tropical cyclone on Thursday. Tropical storm force winds extend outward from 185 miles to 95 kilometers from the center. Estimated minimum central pressure is 989 millibars to 29.21 inches here. And surf swells journeying by Marie will continue to affect much of the west coast of the Baja California Peninsula, the extreme south between Gulf of California and Southern California on Thursday. Life-threatening and surfing with current conditions are likely as a result of these swells, as well as minor coastal flooding. For more information, please consult for products from your local weather office here. Okay, let's take a look at tonight's lows here. It will be 68 for Boston, 63 for Worcester and Hartford, 69 for New York City, 59 for Albany, New York, It's 57 for Rutland, 62 in Concord, New Hampshire, 63 in Portland, Maine here. So tonight's forecasted low will be 57 to 69 degrees there. Okay, let's take a look at our weather notes there. Boston reached 90 degrees, Braintree 89, Waltham 89, Natick 88, Rentham 88, and Lunenburg 84. Water temperature 68 and dew points in the 60s, and Thursday it's going to be some cool weather and highs in the 70s to around 80 degrees there. And take a look at our futurecast radar, and I'll turn it on here, and from now the rain showers will be in central and western Massachusetts and the Berkshires here. By about 7 o'clock it'll be making its way to western and central Massachusetts, and about 9 o'clock it'll make its way still in central and western Massachusetts up in Northern Connecticut, and then 11:35 p.m. it'll make its way from the 95 quarters of Boston down for Providence, down for eastern and south central Connecticut, down for Long Island and New York City here. And it'll make its way out of here in the early morning hours of tomorrow. And we will see a few isolated rain sprinkles around the Cape and the Islands and stuff close to Massachusetts, around Newport, Rhode Island here. But otherwise, it'll be a beautiful day on tap here. Okay, let's take a look at a map situation here. Okay, let's take a look at a view from the outside, and it shows a warm and a little humid night on tap here. Okay, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. It goes like this here. For tonight, scattered showers mainly before 11 p.m. Most of the clouds got a low 66 degrees, and southwest wind about 5 miles to 7 miles per coming light and variable. Chance of precipitation 30%, new precipitation amounts at less than a 10-minute possible. For Thursday, most of the sun skies near 80 degrees and northwest wind about 7 to 9 miles per hour. Thursday night, most of the coast got low 55 degrees and northwest wind about 6 miles per hour. Friday, sun skies near 74 degrees and north wind about 6 miles per hour. Becoming northeastern in the afternoon. Friday night, podcast got low 53 degrees and south wind about 3 to 5 miles per hour. Saturday, most of the sun skies near 67 degrees. Saturday night, podcast got low 63 degrees, and Sunday, chance of thunderstorms. Partly sun skies near 87 degrees and chance of precipitation 30%. Sunday night, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Most skies are low 69 degrees and chance of precipitation 40%. Labor Day, chance of showers. Most skies are high near 82 degrees and chance of precipitation 40%. Monday night, most skies got low 65 degrees. Tuesday, most of the sun skies near 81 degrees. Tuesday night, chance of showers. Most skies got low 63 degrees and chance of precipitation 30%. And for Wednesday, part of the sun skies near 82 degrees. Peters, what a phrase of the evenings. A showery night on tap and a sunny and unpleasant 2 days on tap for tomorrow and Friday. Take a look at our latest traffic situation here at 518. Turning on the traffic meter here, and let's start you off out in Greater Boston here, where Southeast Expressway on the southbound side, slow from the pike down in the split there. Both ends of the typical tunnel, slow on both ends. Mass Pike in the eastbound side, slow from the expressway all the way down to the tip Williams Tunnel into the Logan Airport in Boston and eastbound side of the Mass Pike. Westbound Pike slow from the Williams Tunnel down for South Boston here. And Mass Pike on the westbound side slow from Austin Brandon Tolls all the way out to Framingham here. And 120 southbound side slow from Waltham all the way down to Needham here. Mass Pike on the eastbound side slow from 120 Weston all the way out to Newton here on Route 16 here. And 2 accidents here. Mass Pike westbound accident near Route 9 in Framingham, and Mass Pike westbound side accident near Natick here. So try some section time in that area of Framingham, Natick, and backed up all the way down for Austin Brighton tolls here. 120 on the northbound side, slow from Route 3 in Burlington all the way out to Peabody here on the northbound side of 128, southbound side 128 slow from Beverly all the way out to Peabody here, and Route 3 northbound slow from 62 in Burlington up in the Billerica here. 495 in the northbound side, it'll slow from Lowell all the way out to Tewksbury here. And 495 on the southbound side, slow from Twain and Andover to 93 in Andover here. And 495 north also from 114 in Andover all the way up to 213 in Minnesota here. And 495 southbound side, slow down the Littleton stretch to do the some bridge maintenance on Route 495 northbound and exit 29 Route 2. And Route 2 eastbound side, a little slow is approach 495. Route 2 slow from Belmont down to Fresh Pond and Cambridge here. Mass Pike on the southbound side, a little slow. Down from the Norwood stretch from 128 to the Ponset Street exit here. And Route 3 southbound side slow through the Marshfield stretch to the next on Route 3 south. In Marshfield between 14 and 53 interchanges here. Between 139 and Route 14 interchanges here. Route 3 southbound side slow around the Braintree split here. 24 southbound a little slow around 495 and Raynham here. And take a look at the Cape Cod bridges here. 28 on the northbound side a little slow, you approach the Bourne Rotary here. And Route 6 fine from Orleans down at Sagamore. And take a look at Rhode Island highways here. 195 westbound side a little slow from East Providence down through 95 in Providence here. 95 south slow from the Pawtucket curves down through downtown Providence here. And 95 to northbound side slow from Means Greenwich down to downtown Providence here. 295 northbound side a little slow around Ranson and Johnston here. On 295 southbound slow around Route 6 in Johnston. And 146 on the northbound side slow from 295 and Cumberland and 99 in Cumberland here. Route 4 slow from 43 to 95 from East Greenwich down to Warwick here. And Jamestown and Newport bridges are more on fine here. Okay, Peter Channel News time, 5:21. Time now for the Peter Channel News Evening Report on this August 27, 2014 on Wednesday. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins, and here's what's happening here. Agreement that has escaped a possible life sentence by a Texas jury acquitted him of a tragedy which shot the drunk driver who killed his young sons here. In Kiev, Ukraine accused Russia on Wednesday of stepping up military activity in the annexed territory of Crimea and sending in troops to help separatists near a key seaport in southeastern Ukraine. Around the last year, U.S. President Barack Obama's Secretary of State, John Kerry, was considering President Bashar al-Assad a thug and murderer after evidence indicated that chemical weapons were used against his own people. Josh Gordon is one of the NFL's best receivers, the only player in league history to post back-to-back 200-yard games to have it on a fantasy team. You'll miss him. Questions over gun ownership and control have arisen in the United States following the accidental killing of a shooting range instructor by a 9-year-old girl who has showed her how to use a Uzi submachine gun. In Chicago, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has said on Wednesday they flew an employee back to the United States from West Africa by chartered plane after the staff members came in contact with the international healthcare worker. A military jet from Massachusetts crashed in the mountains of western Virginia mountains on Wednesday morning, but the pilot had not been found. The root cause of the sex abuse scandal, which has engulfed the city, may be tangled in the complex, but Rotherham residents in the UK were united in direct their anger at those in authority who believe allowed the fester unchallenged. The United Nations says that war in Syria has become a conflict with countless actors and front lines with both government forces and various anti-government fighters committing crimes against humanity. The Israel-Gaza ceasefire had agreed yesterday appearing to be holding, and many in Israel are optimistic that they're going to get the support of the Arab states and the weakening Hamas. A Kurdish Peshmerga fighter stands guarded in the Bakhmut front line near the town of Makmar in South Erbil capital Kurdistan. The mother of Seaman J. Sutloff, an American journalist who was held hostage by Islamic militants, has pleaded for his release in a video aimed at his captors here. Efforts to stop film and television productions from leaving California get a major boost Wednesday thanks to an agreement between lawmakers and Governor Brown. Pack the car, load the family, and hit the road this holiday weekend. Gas hasn't been cheap in 4 years. A website at app. It compares gasoline prices at stations that uses air predicts this will be the least expensive Labor Day. About a year ago, Senator Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, was asked about the reduction of some of his political agenda. You know, the thing is, people want to say it's extreme, he said. Mexico City, South Korean automaker Kia Motors Corporation has earmarked a $1 billion bill a new vehicle assembly plant in Mexican supporters will likely invest a further $1.5 million to $1.5 million President Enrique Peña Nieto said on Wednesday. Apple will reportedly unveil a new wearable as its September 9th event along 2 new iPhones. Microsoft says demand for the $500 Xbox One bundle with Kinect has increased since June. By the time next month, the rumors about a new, larger iPhone will put to the rest. There, by next year, if those rumors are true, that we're holding, then we also have the supersized 12.9-inch iPad on the Redder 9.7-inch model and a mini. Dropbox has consolidated 3 of its Pro account options into a single plan that's priced at $9.99 per month and includes 1 TB storage and added controls for the document sharing and security. For the past 7 years, the final scene in The Sopranos had viewers and fans scratching their heads over what the heck happened. Everyone at the 71st Venice Film Festival could head home now because Emma Stone just won the red carpet wearing a dramatic Chile Valentino couture gown with her. Chris Solis didn't win Andy Dauphin's heart and The Bachelorette, but he'll have another shot at TV reality love on ABC's The Bachelor. BTS suspended the producer after a joke about Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter that it aired on Monday on the network's music video countdown show 106 in Park. Neil Young and wife Peggy arrived for the 56th annual Grammy Awards as Neil Young and his wife Peggy are divorced and she was inspiration for many songs. From the far reaches of space, astronomers brought 2 colliding galaxies in a sharp focus by patching together images from several powerful telescopes. NASA's Curiosity Mars rover will be skipping drilling for the time being and proceed to the Mount Sharp on the Martian planet. Curiosity rover operators have deemed the potential drilling target unstable to hence ask the rover to proceed to Mount Sharp. A new study at the University of Buffalo found that marijuana use may be linked to domestic violence decreasing. As the death toll for the Ebola virus continues to rise in West Africa, the Nigerian government has told all primary and secondary schools, private and public, to remain closed until October 13th rather than open next weekend as was planned. In sports, non-U.S. Open appearances, Agrizeka Radwanska has never advanced past the 4th round. Los Angeles Doc Rivers is staying with the Los Angeles Clippers for another 5 years and Steve Ballmer's first big move since taking over as new owner. He gave Rivers a contract extension for the 2018-2019 season. In Los Angeles, a high-level pressure in the USC Athletics Department who spoke to the conditions of anonymity said Wednesday that a number of department officials spoke to the senior cornerback Josh Shaw about his rescue story and expressed skepticism. Seattle's agent Key Arena is one of only 2 NHL-ready arenas in the most likely city to be given a franchise, but more build is on the way. Take a look at New England into the alerts here. In Oldham, Massachusetts, a motor vehicle accident with an entrapment on Rose Street. Second set of jobs requested MA from Paxton. East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, had a collision with entrapment on Union Street. 21-year-old male with lower extremity trauma. Medline Ground 1 walked wounded to the South Shore Hospital here. We got good news. Mingle Centron has been captured here. And in middle of Massachusetts, UMass Life Flight user transport elderly assault victim, serious head trauma. LZ was Pierce Playground there. Okay, take a look at us. Flows and stock market report on this Wednesday evening here. Stocks down, close at 17,122.01, up 1531. SP 500, 2,000.12, up 10 point. Nasdaq 4569.62, down 102. European markets DEX 9569.71 down 1844. FTSE 683.66 up 790. CAC 404395.26 up 185. Asian markets here. Nikkei 15534.82 up 1360. Shanghai 2209.47 up 236. HSI 24918.75 down 155.75 here. In the oil markets here. 9370 down 16 hundredths of a point. Brent 102.55 up 5 hundredths of a point. And natural gas 4.017 up 68 hundredths of a point here. In the gold markets here, 1283.5 down 170. Silver 19.42 up 34 hundredths of a point. And copper 3.171 down 15 hundredths of a point here. In the bonds, US 10-year yield 2.3608% down 32 thousandths of a point. And Germany 10-year yield 9.11% up 4 thousandths of a point. And Japanese 10-year yield 4.97% down 3 thousandths of a point. In the FX, European US dollar 1.3193 up 1 thousandth of a point. US dollar Japanese yen 103.87 up 2 hundredths of a point. And Great Britain pound US dollar 1.6574 down 1 thousandth of a point. And that is going to be it for the What I just your PHL news evening report on this August 27, 2014 PJ was have a good evening, and I will see you for a late night report right after the sports roundup and after the Red Sox Blue Jays game at 11 o'clock. Have a good evening. I'll see you at 11 or after the game. Bye bye for now. Here.